Mark Mansius, listen closely to the question. Do you support a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution?
Yes. I support having a balanced budget, and it's been done plenty of times. Ask Newt Gingrich, you can watch it on one of the 29 or 30 debates we've seen so far. It can be done without a balance, but without an amendment. I like the concept of an amendment. The problem is how you word it. What I want to have is a balanced budget where we can prioritize what spending is important. I heard it mentioned a little while ago that in Texas, there was the edict that you reduce your budgets 15%, whatever it was. You know, that's not the way to prioritize spending in a country, much less a state. We need to have someone who's actually balancing the budget based upon the priorities of the people and of the nation. Not just cutting 10% or 5% or 8%, some random number that somebody picks out. And that's why I like the line out of veto as well. But the concept, yes. Thank you.
Looks like the right statement today.
Absolutely is my answer. But as part of that, I would do one other thing. When we actually when it comes time to balancing the budget, I'm against earmarks, but there's one earmark I would earmark, and that is a certain percentage of a balanced budget must go to paying down the principal of the debt. So that's an earmark I would support, that we must put aside that part of it. And again, I'm also for line item veto. I'm also for zero-based budgeting. All that's part of this. Like Michael said, I can't trust Congress either. Even if I was part of it, there's a lot of people I can't trust. And we need to keep their feet to the fire, and we need you all to keep our feet to the fire when we get elected. Don't just elect us and send us off to Washington. Make sure you hold our feet to the fire. That's really important. Thank you. I'm Bill Sargent. I'm running for Congress.
Truncale, and in case you haven't heard, I stand for a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution. That was the first element that I mentioned in my prior answer, and I've taken leadership, I've taken action in this regard by putting this petition on my web page. I've already had hundreds of people in this congressional district come online, michaeltruncale.com, and you can find that place where you can sign up this petition. They've signed up in support of a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution. And I'm going to stand on the floor of the House of Representatives where I can represent you and hold your names in my hand and say, these good people in Brazoria County demand a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution. I simply do not trust Congress or future Congresses to restrain themselves. And so we must have it. We know that it will work. And yes, Congress has to work hard and look at these agencies and stop the earmarks and abolish some agencies in order to get spending under control. But let's make sure they have what the constitutional mandate, the will of the people, telling them you must get spending under control. Why? When I started this campaign, we were at 14 trillion. Now we're at 15 trillion, and we're moving to 16 trillion. This is serious. This is a huge handicap to our children. It's going to harm our economy, and it's going to bankrupt our future. It's going to destroy our currency. Those of you who are on retirement are going to be hurt. Why? Because it will lead to inflation. We've got to stop the spending. That's the key. And it's got to come from the highest law in the land, the United States Constitution. Again, I'm Michael Truncale. I stand for a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution. I urge you to sign my petition. Thank you.
Randy Weber, and I'm not for a balanced budget amendment. First things first, let's elect a congressman who's gonna go cut spending, and then let's work on that process. Then, of course, I'm for a balanced budget amendment. We did it, we do it in Texas. And Jay, we didn't cut 15% across the board. What we did was your Texas House of Representatives, the second day we were in session, we cut our own budget 14%. You bet. How would you like to get Congress to do that? We knew we couldn't tell Texans they'd have to do with less and cutting $27 billion if we weren't willing to lead the way. And folks, people came into my office. Kathleen, we're so glad you're here. John, thank you for your persistence bringing her here. You guys are a testament to us.